Michel Nostradamus was one of the most enigmatic and interesting men in history. He was a man of science and intellect, but he was also a man of great mysticism.
Nostradamus and Baba Vanga stand out for their prophecies regarding events that affect the world. Many believe that these two prophets have issued clear warnings about profound changes and global crises in 2025. The prophecies of Nostradamus and Baba Vanga for 2025 depict a world on the brink of significant changes, filled with both challenges and opportunities. In this video, we will explore what Nostradamus and Baba Vanga specifically said about 2025 and why their words have led many to ponder what the coming year holds. The enigmatic prophet. Michel de Nostradamus, known as Nostradamus, is one of the most famous prophets in history. He published his predictions in enigmatic quatrains that have been interpreted for centuries. He is perhaps the most renowned clairvoyant in history, as he apparently forecasted numerous transformative affairs centuries ahead of his time. Meanwhile, a legendary prophet grew up further east during the 20th century. Known by millions of followers as the beloved Baba Vanga, she was a blind mystic often called the Balkan Nostradamus. Despite her extremely humble beginnings, minimal education, and the seemingly endless string of hardships she suffered in her early life, the resilient, insightful, and peerlessly intuitive Vanga achieved global fame and recognition with her otherworldly visions and frighteningly accurate prophecies, attracting scores of domestic and international visitors from all walks of life, ranging from fellow villagers to celebrities and foreign dignitaries who clung on to her every word. The Chosen One. One of Baba Vanga's most intriguing predictions for 2025 is the birth of a child who will play a crucial role in achieving world peace. According to her prophecy, this child will bring a new order and become a spiritual leader who will unite humanity. It is said that the child will be born on January 5th, 2025, and will grow up with exceptional abilities that will enable them to guide the world in times of crisis. Seen as a symbol of hope amid darker prophecies, this child is regarded by some of Baba Vanga's followers as a sign of renewal and unity. Although this prediction is one of the least verifiable, it has captured the imagination of many and remains a topic of speculation. Baba Vanga also mentioned the name of the powerful man, Putin. This is one of her most famous predictions. According to her, Putin will become the lord of the world, while Europe will become a wasteland. All will thaw as if ice, only one remains untouched: Vladimir's glory, the glory of Russia. Nobody can stop Russia. After the Russia and Ukraine conflict, these alleged prophecies attributed to Bulgarian blind seer Baba Vanga went viral on social media and were mentioned by mainline international media as well. Reportedly, they came from Russian poet and academic Valentin Mitrofanovich Sidorov, who interviewed Baba Vanga and devoted a book to her, whose most popular edition, heavily edited after his death, was published in 2009. Many people are quite skeptical of this prophecy, and up until now, nothing is certain about the final outcome of the conflict between the two nations. Who will be the last warrior standing? Speaking of Putin, this blind prophet once again mentioned this leader and the connection to her prophecy. The mystic predicted that new cures for diseases like Alzheimer's and cancer will be invented very soon. It sounds unbelievable, but nothing is impossible with the rapid development of world medicine. President Vladimir Putin recently said that Russian scientists are close to creating a vaccine for cancer that could soon be available to patients. He said, "We have reached a significant milestone in the development of cancer vaccines and next-generation immunomodulatory drugs. I hope that soon they will be effectively used as methods of individual therapy," he added, speaking at a Moscow forum on future technologies. However, he did not specify the types of cancer the proposed vaccines would target. Furthermore, recent developments have confirmed progress in the development of a lung cancer vaccine. The United Kingdom has allocated funding for 2 years of laboratory research and initial manufacturing of 3,000 doses for a DNA-based lung cancer vaccine, as stated in a press release from the University of Oxford, located in Oxford, England. But it cannot be denied that the world will have a positive outlook for cancer patients, and we can fully expect that a miracle will happen in 2025. Meanwhile, Nostradamus also made a prediction about the Chosen One. According to his prophecy, the Chosen One is entirely different from what people typically expect. We are referring to the successor of King Charles III. Naturally, Prince William is seen as the future king, but according to Nostradamus's prophecy, the Chosen One is actually William's younger brother, Harry. Recent speculation has surfaced regarding predictions made by 16th century astrologer Nostradamus, suggesting a tumultuous future for Britain's King Charles after his cancer diagnosis, which was discovered when he was undergoing treatment for an enlarged prostate. Royal observers speculated that King Charles might step down, either voluntarily or due to pressure related to his health. The revelation of King Charles's cancer diagnosis has left many questions unanswered, with Buckingham Palace withholding details regarding the cancer type and stage. This lack of transparency has fueled both concern and speculation about the monarch's health and the potential implications for the British monarchy. In his renowned work, Les Prophéties, Nostradamus seemingly forecasted the monarch's downfall, including potential abdication or forced removal. Nostradamus predicted the potential abdication of a king and the rise of an unexpected successor, which now seems to echo the current situation involving King Charles and Prince Harry. The ancient prophet said the King of the Isles would be driven out by force and would be replaced by one who will have no mark of a king. Before that, he accurately predicted Queen Elizabeth II's passing at around the age of 96, a prophecy that aligned with Buckingham Palace's announcement of King Charles III's diagnosis following his mother's demise in 2022. However, the question of how Prince Harry, who has shown little interest in royal duties, would end up as king remains unanswered. The royal family has faced its fair share of scandals in recent years. However, the one that garnered the most headlines and caused papers and tabloids across the world to go nuts was Prince Harry's exit from the royal family and the fallout thereafter. Despite his decision to pull back from his familial duties, many wonder if Prince Harry could still rule as king. Global economic crisis. Another prediction attributed to Nostradamus is the onset of a major economic crisis. His quatrain that states, "The great wealth of a nation will fall," has been interpreted as a warning of a financial collapse affecting major global economies in 2025. This prophecy suggests a possible financial meltdown beginning in Europe, particularly impacting countries like Italy and Greece, whose economies are already vulnerable. This economic collapse is also projected to affect the Americas. Some interpret Nostradamus' words as referring to a possible recession in the United States and hyperinflation in countries like Argentina, which could lead to social unrest and increased unemployment. While these situations are concerning, some believe Nostradamus' visions merely reflect the economic anxieties of any era, even if current interpretations align with contemporary fears. Like Nostradamus, Baba Vanga allegedly foresaw an economic crisis that would impact many parts of the world in 2025. According to some accounts, she predicted a financial collapse that would disrupt the global economy and plunge millions into poverty. This crisis is expected to manifest as hyperinflation in Latin American countries, particularly Argentina, and cause employment and stability issues in developed economies worldwide. Baba Vanga also warned of increasing inequality and the impact of poverty on different societies, which could spark social unrest and protests demanding change. The devastating conflict. For 2025, various interpretations of his quatrains suggest large-scale events. Some believe these predictions refer to current or imminent situations, particularly conflicts in Europe and Asia. One of Nostradamus' most alarming prophecies for 2025 is the potential for war in Europe, which some fear could expand globally. He wrote about wars in the lands of Europe and an old enemy attacking again. Over the years, this phrase has been interpreted as a forewarning of conflicts on the continent. In 2025, the ongoing tensions between Russia, Ukraine, and other European countries have led many to draw a direct connection to his words. Nostradamus also mentions the lands of Asia, which some interpreters associate with a potential conflict between China and Taiwan, a pressing issue in current geopolitics. According to this interpretation, the conflict in Europe could escalate to involve China, the United States, and other global powers, creating an international scenario of tension and rivalries that could jeopardize world peace. For 2025, Baba Vanga supposedly predicted the outbreak of a conflict that would affect much of Europe. Like Nostradamus, her vision seemed to point to a war that could escalate to involve global powers. It is said that she warned about the destruction of the world as we know it, a phrase some interpret as referring to a conflict that could shift the balance of power and cause great loss. According to this interpretation, the conflict could drastically reduce the population in Europe and create a worldwide humanitarian crisis. Current tensions in Europe and Asia have led many to view this prediction as a serious warning, though the true scope of her words remains a topic of debate. Natural disasters. Nostradamus also alludes to climatic events and natural disasters in his prophecies for 2025. One quatrain describes fire in the New World and waves that drown, which has been interpreted as warnings of devastating wildfires and tsunamis in North America and Asia. In the United States, there is concern that these fires could severely impact California and other regions prone to massive wildfires. Meanwhile, in Asia, some believe Nostradamus predicted an earthquake or tsunami that could affect Japan and its surrounding areas. As we face these predictions, it is essential to approach them with a balance of curiosity and caution, acknowledging both their historical context and their potential relevance to today's global challenges. It is also said that Nostradamus mentions lands turning into deserts and submerged cities, which many associate with the effects of climate change in regions like Brazil, where severe droughts could occur, and coastal areas in Asia and southern Europe, which could be at risk of flooding. These interpretations reflect current concerns about global warming and how it might reshape the world in the coming decades. Although Baba Vanga left no formal writings, her words have been passed down orally, and she is now credited with several predictions for 2025 that point to profound global changes. Baba Vanga is also known for her visions of natural disasters that would affect the planet's climate and living conditions. She reportedly predicted that extreme weather events, including intense heat waves in Europe and desertification in parts of South America and Asia, would mark 2025. These interpretations align with modern concerns about climate change, which forecasts drought conditions and extreme heat in certain regions. Baba Vanga is also said to have predicted a wave of water that would cover vast areas in Asia, possibly referring to a tsunami or major flood. The possibility of such an event occurring in places like Bangladesh or Southeast Asia remains a critical concern today due to the risk of flooding in vulnerable areas. Astronomy. These two prophets had many views about the world, but the similarities are they all mentioned astronomy. Nostradamus talked about the Mars mission. This 16th century Frenchman is still relevant because of his prophecies and his accuracy regarding current events 5 centuries after he wrote them down. According to Nostradamus, the celestial fire would descend upon a regal edifice, coinciding with the extinguishing of the light of Mars. The Frenchman said that this year there was going to be a light failure on Mars. A somewhat mysterious message, as is often the case with Nostradamus, but which is nonetheless disturbing. He adds that celestial fire will appear when the lights go out on Mars. not only Nostradamus, but The Simpsons also have a prediction about Mars. This time is the life on Mars. On March 13th, 2016, episode 16 of The Simpsons' 27th season aired. It was titled The Margian Chronicles, and it featured one of the most interesting predictions ever made by the show. In this episode, Homer Simpson and his family are selected for a special program that will take them on a space flight to the planet Mars. The twist in the story was, however, that Marge and Lisa eventually made it to Mars. Although it would eventually happen in 2051, how does this relate to real life? That's where Elon Musk comes in. Like other space lovers, Musk desires to push the boundaries of space exploration. This revolutionary deed places mankind one step closer to colonizing Mars. Musk said that, without reusable rockets, it would be unaffordable. It dramatically improves my confidence that a city on Mars is possible. It's what all this is about. Musk has long spoken of his plans to colonize Mars, and over the years, he has made many predictions of when people might land on the planet. He said, "If things go according to plan, we should be able to launch people probably in 2024, with arrival in 2025. This man continued predicting that people will on Mars in 2029. And Musk said he hoped to build 1,000 of SpaceX's starships over the course of 10 years in order to send 1 million people to Mars by 2050. Musk also revealed that with the development of his new Starship rocket, life on Mars could be right at our fingertips. Imagine being able to book an interplanetary flight from our green Earth to places that are light years away. It could be the singular most monumental achievement in human history. Who knows? Maybe by 2051, there will be more Mars cities than anyone can count. At least by then, The Simpsons will be able to say we told you so. According to Baba Vanga, by 2028, humans will reach Venus in search of new energy sources, and the problem of food shortages will be resolved. There will also be a human space mission to Mercury. With more than half of the Earth suffering due to climate change and terrorism, humans have already begun searching for habitats on other planets. It's possible that Baba Vanga's prophecy could come true. Personally, seeing the state of Earth makes me want to move to another planet. Anyway, let's move on to the next prediction. Baba Vanga's prediction about a star exploding could be seen as similar to the supernova SN 1006, which occurred in the year 1006, and was visible for several years. The explosion of a star would likely be a significant event and could potentially have some impact on our planet, such as affecting our climate or causing disruptions in our technology. A star exploding could potentially have significant effects on our planet. For example, it could release large amounts of radiation, which could affect our climate and even our health. Additionally, it could disrupt our technology, including satellites and power grids. The bright light from the exploding star could also potentially affect our sleep patterns and have other effects on our daily lives. There are several stars in the universe that are currently known to be at the end of their lives and could potentially explode in the near future. While predicting the exact timing of such events is difficult, astronomers have identified several stars that are at high risk of exploding, which could provide some support for Baba Vanga's prediction. With that, she also warned us the visit of strangers. While the idea of an alien attack might seem like something out of science fiction, it is not without precedent. In the past, various cultures have reported encounters with extraterrestrial beings, and some have even claimed to have been abducted by aliens. However, it is important to note that there is currently no scientific evidence to support the existence of aliens or the possibility of an alien attack. While the likelihood of an alien attack is unknown, the idea of contact with extraterrestrial life raises a number of questions about our place in the universe and the possibility of other intelligent life. It could also have significant effects on our society and culture, potentially leading to new scientific discoveries and even religious or philosophical changes. While there is currently no scientific evidence to support the existence of extraterrestrial life, the search for such life is an active area of research. Scientists have discovered thousands of exoplanets or planets that orbit stars other than our Sun. And some of these planets are located in the habitable zone, which could potentially support life. Additionally, several organizations, such as the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, are actively searching for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence. The enemies. The nightmare called COVID-19 is still present, and many people have not forgotten the terrible consequences it brought. There is a strong possibility that another nightmare is about to come to the world. Baba Vanga predicted another pandemic, this one caused by a frozen virus that will be liberated by climate change and found in Siberia. To put this in perspective, a team of researchers found 2 ice samples from the Tibetan Plateau in China that were frozen with ancient viruses, the majority of which had never been seen before. The conclusions were drawn from ice cores collected in 2015, which researchers estimate to have been frozen at least 14,400 years ago. During analysis, 33 viral genetic codes were discovered in the ice. 4 of the 33 were identified by their genetic codes as belonging to virus families that generally attack bacteria. Up to 28 were novel, which means they had never been found previously. As per Baba Vanga's predictions, nations are compelled to discover alternatives. Many cities will experience water shortages, which will have an impact on politics. Also, planet-invading aliens will send an asteroid to look for life on Earth with a hostile outcome. Meanwhile, Nostradamus predicted the rise of a power that no one could have anticipated. One of Nostradamus's most unsettling predictions for 2025 is the revolt of artificial intelligence against its human creators. In one of his quatrains, he wrote, "Combats, naval battles, bombings, and a global uprising of superior intelligence created by man." Although it is unclear exactly which year Nostradamus referred to, he suggests that the rapid advancement of AI technology could lead to a scenario where machines, robots, and algorithms develop self-awareness and decide to rebel against their human masters. The consequences of such an event could be catastrophic, disrupting industries, economies, governments, and everyday life globally. Some analysts believe the combat and naval battles mentioned in the prophecy could refer to growing tensions and conflicts between major world powers like the United States, China, Russia, and India as they compete for control and influence over global resources, markets, and technologies, especially AI technology. Baba Vanga also gave a prediction about the rise of technology. In Baba Vanga's predictions, thanks to advances in organ transplant technology, humans will live to be more than 100 years old. She also anticipated that the darkness would be gone and another region of Earth would be illuminated by artificial sunlight. She foresees a major breakthrough in the realm of quantum computing, bringing an unprecedented technological revolution. This advancement is set to shake up various sectors, from finance and healthcare to cybersecurity, all thanks to the mind-blowing capabilities of quantum computers. The rapid advance of technology is transforming civilization in ways no one expected, in ways that are exciting and scary, ways we are only beginning to understand. Tech seems on the verge of recreating human beings into something new, something altered, bionic, computerized, robotic, superhuman. The internet spiderweb has descended and covered nearly all elements of civilization. The smartphone, smartwatch, and smart home are growing into the smart world. So, are these things linked to the Bible prophecy? Some readers may recall the words given to the prophet Daniel more than 25 centuries ago in Daniel 12:4, that at the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Not until recent history have we seen a time when millions of people rapidly fly all over the globe, reaching destinations in hours that in previous centuries took months or even years. Until year 1900, human knowledge approximately doubled every century. However, by 1950, human knowledge doubled every 25 years. In 2000, human knowledge would double every year. Now our knowledge is almost doubling every day. This should certainly make us pay attention to how quickly our world is changing, and with it, how previously puzzling Bible prophecies might now be fulfilled. In Matthew 24, Jesus Christ's disciples asked him what would signal his return. What started with the movable type printing press in 1439 eventually matured into the internet and smartphones, instant fingertip access to anything at any time. Christ's words in Matthew 24:14 have never made more sense than in this era. The internet in everyone's pockets means the potential now exists, as never before, for the true gospel of God's coming kingdom to be preached truly to all nations. In Revelation 13:15-17, verses show the rise in the last days of a world-ruling superpower centered in Europe called the Beast. God's word shows it will exercise unprecedented control over people, like the vast Roman Empire but bigger and modern, with religion playing a major role. Revelation shows how the religious leader of this end-time superpower will honor the civil aspect of this power and will punish and kill those who refuse to worship the beast. Note how those who refuse to be part of this satanic system are cut off from buying or selling. Their economic tap is turned off. Then think of our soon-coming cashless society. Every transaction is rapidly becoming electronic. It will not be technically difficult for people to no longer be able to buy and sell if they do not fall in line with the beast's power. Technology may not be the actual mark of the beast, but it will almost certainly be used to enforce the mark. The stage is set for God to reach vast numbers with the true gospel, and the context of this prophecy is just before Christ's second coming. Baba Vanga predicted that communication technologies would continue to evolve, making it easier for people to connect across vast distances. Innovations in this field could lead to faster, more reliable internet connections and new ways of interacting with each other, further shrinking the global village. Baba Vanga's technological advancements predicted for 2024 are expected to impact daily life profoundly. From healthcare to communication, these innovations could improve efficiency, convenience, and overall quality of life. As we embrace these changes, it is important to consider the benefits and potential challenges they may bring. Also with that, humans face dangerous cyber attacks. She warns of a surge in cyber attacks for 2025. These aren't your run-of-the-mill hackers. They're leveling up in sophistication, targeting critical infrastructure like power grids and water treatment facilities. These attacks could lead to widespread disruptions and chaos, posing a serious national security threat. Social revolutions. Nostradamus, in his writings, predicted a series of social revolutions that will shake the world in the year 2025. According to his prophecies, these revolts will be the result of growing inequality and a population increasingly dissatisfied with social and political conditions. Nostradamus describes a fire that will burn in the heart of cities, which many have interpreted as a premonition of social unrest and revolutionary changes that could redefine the structure of modern societies. Nostradamus' predictions about social revolutions have been the subject of numerous interpretations over the years. However, in the current context, where social and economic inequality continues to grow, these prophecies have taken on new significance. The gap between rich and poor has widened, and racial, gender, and class tensions are reaching boiling points in many parts of the world. This environment is ripe for the type of social revolution that Nostradamus seems to have predicted. A common interpretation of this prophecy is that Nostradamus was anticipating a massive uprising of the population against the ruling elites. References to fire in the heart of cities could be interpreted as riots and protests in large urban areas where inequality is most evident. In recent years, we have seen massive protests erupt in cities worldwide, from Hong Kong to Paris, in response to corruption, oppression, and lack of opportunities. Nostradamus's prophecy could be suggesting that these disturbances will intensify in 2025, leading to significant changes in the social order. Another interpretation suggests that these social revolutions could be driven by technology. Nostradamus mentions a new power that will arise and challenge existing structures, which some interpret as a reference to social media and digital technology. Today, online platforms have proven to be powerful tools for organizing and mobilizing social movements. From the Arab Spring to the Black Lives Matter movement, technology has played a crucial role in amplifying the voices of the oppressed and organizing large-scale protests. This prophecy could be a warning of a digital revolution that will change the dynamics of power in the world. However, not everyone is convinced that this prophecy will come true. Skeptics argue that Nostradamus's predictions are too vague and can be applied to almost any situation of social conflict. Then, predictions of political upheavals and dangers are not limited to one area, indicating Vanga's vision of global tension. She talked about Putin in danger and European trials. The political upheavals as a result of the Russia and Ukraine war, Baba Vanga has predicted the assassination of Russian President Vladimir Putin. This prediction gains particular significance following a recent tragic event in Moscow that has shocked the world. The recent terrorist attack in Moscow, which claimed the lives of 133 individuals and left many more wounded, has sent shockwaves across Russia and beyond. President Putin addressed the nation, acknowledging the severity of the attack and vowing to pursue those responsible for organizing it. The attack, which occurred at the Crocus City Hall during a rock concert, marked one of the deadliest terrorist incidents in Moscow in over 2 decades. The tragedy has reignited concerns about security and terrorism in the region, prompting heightened vigilance and security measures. While authorities have detained suspects linked to the attack, including individuals with alleged ties to extremist groups, questions linger about the motives and origins of the assailants. Speculation and conspiracy theories have emerged, with some suggesting possible connections to larger geopolitical tensions and conflicts. Against this backdrop, Baba Vanga's prediction about a rise in terrorist attacks in Europe takes on added significance. Her mention of a big country conducting biological weapons tests or attacks adds another layer of complexity to the ongoing discussions about global security. Baba Vanga warned of increased terrorist activities in Europe and hinted at the possibility of a major country engaging in biological weapons testing or launching attacks. Presently, the Israel-Hamas conflict and Russia's invasion of Ukraine remain prominent issues, because the balance of international power has changed. Is China rising as many people think, or is Russia declining rapidly? Might be China's development cannot make up for Russia's decline, so the power to balance the West is gradually becoming weaker. There are more and more democratic countries, and their power is getting stronger, such as Eastern Europe and India. NATO is gradually expanding eastward, and a pattern of encircling China is also taking shape. Many territorial disputes between Russia and China are being unearthed from history. Russia's rule over Tatars, Chechnya, and many other ethnic states in the southwest, and China's rule over East Turkestan, Tibet, southern Mongolia, and Hong Kong are becoming less and less recognized by the world. The aftermath of the Moscow attack could potentially exacerbate existing economic challenges, leading to further uncertainty and volatility. While some visions may sound alarming, others reflect our current concerns and fears. The truth is, the future remains a mystery. These visions invite reflection, but every individual has the power to act and contribute to a more stable and resilient world. Prophecies are interpretations and do not have the final word on what will happen, but they remind us that the world is in constant transformation, and each challenge brings an opportunity for positive change. 2025 is just around the corner, and only time will tell how close or far these visions are from the future reality.
By the 1980s, Benjalia, who adopted the name Baba Vanga, had given thousands of accurate predictions and gained a reputation as the Nostradamus of the Balkans.
Despite Baba Vanga's passing in 1996, many people still think her prophecies are coming true. Vanga's chilling prophecies and profound insights further aroused public curiosity about what she predicted for 2025 has begun and terrifies everyone. Among the terrible predictions, prophecies related to Donald Trump, who is fervently preparing for his final race, are receiving significant attention. In a strange connection between the past and present, Vanga's predictions seem to be validated by a prophet from America, namely, Last Days. Donald Trump's health challenge. Dramatic events that happened to Donald Trump have renewed interest in the eerie predictions of Baba Vanga, the blind mystic from Bulgaria, who had once foretold that the former U.S. president's life would be in danger. There were 2 attacks on his life is serving to further unsettle the tumultuous 2024 election cycle. Baba Vanga, often referred to as the Nostradamus of the Balkans, had a reputation for making startling predictions. Despite passing away in 1996, her prophecies continue to intrigue and alarm many. Among her numerous predictions, Vanga had foreseen that the life of Donald Trump would be in danger. According to Baba Vanga's predictions, Trump would face a mysterious illness that would leave him deaf and suffering from a brain tumor. While Trump has not experienced these specific health issues, the recent assassination attempt adds a chilling layer to her prophecy about his life being in peril. This famous prophet is also give the prediction about Trump accident.
And then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum.
When a person has a near-death experience, it oftentimes signals a turning point in life, a period of much reflection and renewed energy, direction, and purpose. Trump almost lost his life. A slight turn, an adjusted aim within millimeters, even a gust of wind, could have resulted in a very different outcome. And for that, he must be thankful to God. In the face of adversity, Trump displayed courage, strength, and bravery, urging Americans to fight for their country, with fist in air. With all of Trump's flaws, he could do some reflecting, clean up his act, and re-emerge polished and forceful. Many no doubt would forgive him, as no man is perfect. Getting a second chance at life can do just that. Trump could rebrand himself into a stronger candidate, one who is American first, brave and ready to lead and serve. He could also become more personable and even likable. He could position himself to be more purposeful, standing up against violence, hate, and bigotry. It could be an opportunity to lead his party to enact stronger gun laws in the U.S., something they have resisted for decades. God could be speaking to Trump to turn things around for his own good and those around him. While Baba Vanga made a rather grim prediction about Trump's future, The Simpsons predicted that this powerful man would soon return to the top position. The Simpsons has proved prescient, as the long-running animated series correctly predicted that Donald Trump would run for president in 2024. After Trump announced he would be running for office for a 3rd time, people around the world flocked to share an image from a 2015 episode of the multi-time Emmy-winning series. In the picture, Homer is seen flying through the air as a Trump 2024 campaign sign stands in the background. This image comes from an episode titled Trumptastic Voyage. The mini-episode sees Homer embark on an extraordinary journey after a close encounter with Donald Trump's hairpiece. In order to make America great and glorious again, I am announcing my candidacy for President of the United States, the former president said. Antichrist appearance. The blind prophet continued to warn the world about the important character might change the whole world. That is Antichrist. When you watch a TV show or music competition, it's amazing to see how people can rise up from poverty and then be launched into worldwide popularity in a matter of months. So it will be with the Antichrist. He will have an inconspicuous beginning and win the hearts of humanity. He will be highly intelligent. He will be stronger than most. He will be a gifted communicator. He will be politically savvy. While he will be charming, his corrupt character will be revealed after 3.5 years into the tribulation. The world will see how this man is now hell-bent on destroying the Christian faith and persecuting the Jews. He is described as a blasphemer, a hater of God's law. He will be consumed by his selfish ambitions. He will try to change biblical prophecies by twisting the scriptures. He will ultimately pretend to be God and demand to be worshipped. He will come claiming he is the one, the long-awaited one. He will be the Messiah of the new age, who will be secretly led by Satan, who will see within him his former glory and will view him as the rightful vessel to re-achieve his ancient status and then some. He will usher in a new golden age of false peace and prosperity and will soon thereafter be proclaimed as the God of this new age. He will craftily make war with the saints and subdue them for a time, while keeping up this false personage. He also might be political antichrists. Just as there are religious antichrists, there also are political antichrists. Communism is a good example. Communism is an antichrist in that it seeks to replace Christ and his kingdom as Earth's rightful ruler and mankind's only hope. Thus, we are told that it is the messianic character of communism that gives it dynamic power to command allegiance. Its leaders, such as Lenin and Stalin, have been not only idolized, but deified, termed saviors, and the ones chosen by God to lead their people. What is true of communism's being the Antichrist is also true of the United Nations. It is being given a messianic role to play by the clergy of Christendom as the world's savior, its only hope and the only light, whereas the Bible plainly shows that Jesus Christ and God's kingdom is our only hope. That's why many eyes keep watching these two popular men of the world, Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Some might think that Trump and Elon could be the figures mentioned in the Bible who would appear as adversaries of God. However, if you hear about their love and faith in God, you may very well change your mind. We all know that Trump has a strong belief in God. Trump claims to have a strong relationship with God and the evangelical Christian community. He goes to church regularly, especially on important Christian holidays like Christmas and Easter and Sundays. He believes in doing the right things so he doesn't have to ask for forgiveness. When he's in church, he takes part in the ritual of communion with wine and a cracker as a way of seeking forgiveness and feeling cleansed. When received the question, "You have said you never felt the need to ask for God's forgiveness, and yet repentance for one's sins is a precondition to salvation," Trump replied, "I will be asking for forgiveness, but hopefully I won't have to be asking for much forgiveness." When asked who he says Jesus is, he replied, "Jesus to me is somebody I can think about for security and confidence, somebody I can revere in terms of bravery and in terms of courage, and because I consider the Christian religion so important, somebody I can totally rely on in my own mind." He also said that America needs a savior right now, but that's not him, of course. Trump said, "The life and death and resurrection of Jesus Christ forever changed the world." He said it is impossible to think of the history and life of America without the influence of his example and of his teachings. Trump added that none of America's accomplishments would have been possible without Jesus Christ and his followers and his church. Elon Musk is a physicist genius whose scent for a good idea or two has taken him a long way. But what makes people most curious about this man is his faith. In an interview, a host asked Musk if he accepted Jesus as his Lord and Savior. Do you wonder about his answer? This is what Elon Musk said. "I mean, LTs just say that I agree with the principles that Jesus advocated. And there is great wisdom in the teachings of Jesus, and I agree with those teachings."
Turn the other cheek are very important, because as opposed to an eye for an eye.
An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. So, forgiveness is important. treating people as you would wish to be treated. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Very important. After the end of his answer, Musk made it clear that he had actually been baptized in the Anglican Church as a child, and he was taught the parables and principles of Jesus Christ. That's assumedly how he knew turn the other cheek, the golden rule, and God's second greatest commandment. He also believed that he would be saved. This shows that he has a thoughtful interest in the person and teachings of Jesus. But you know what? Before giving such an answer, Elon Musk stated that he is not someone who lives by faith. He recalled asking questions about the miracles and mysteries as a child, but never being answered in an understanding manner. Musk recalled attending Sunday school at the locale church, where his mother was a teacher. Musk immediately started questioning stories from the Bible. Musk also said the story of Jesus feeding the crowd with bread and fish could not happen, as things can't just materialize out of nothing. The billionaire also struggled with the concept of communion. The billionaire took what he knew from religion and thought there was no creator or a deity, and instead, it was science that could explain things. This is what extends the gap between Musk and God. Nevertheless, Musk retained some valuable teachings from the Gospels, and it's certainly a strong foundation upon which to rebuild one's faith should he choose to return to Christianity. The end of the world. Before her death, Vanga predicted Europe would be under Islamic leadership by 2043, communism's return by 2076, and the resolution of the world hunger crisis between 2025 and 2028. In 2304, humans supposedly achieved time travel, followed by man-made natural disasters from 2341, rendering Earth uninhabitable. Fear not, as Vanga claims human immortality, assimilation with aliens, and communication with God by 4302. The world's end, according to her, is only in 5079. In India, where temperatures are said to reach 50 degrees and cause locusts to damage crops, Baba Vanga also foresaw famine. The mystic who predicted intense bouts of flooding in Australia and parts of Asia also predicted more earthquakes and tsunamis. It is believed to have been said by Baba Vanga that in 2024, a country would be carrying out bioweapons tests. This prediction is highly disturbing and relevant to current geopolitical issues. This prediction of the blind prophet reminds us a verse of Bible. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places, and famines. These are the beginning of birth pains. Doubtless, somewhere people will, again, start to use such disasters as signs that we are living in the last days. Or, to put it more accurately, since the New Testament consistently insists the last days began with Christ's first coming, they will insist that we are living in the last days of the last days. Wars and rumors of wars should not alarm God's people. The end is still to come. Earthquakes and famines are merely the beginning of birth pangs. In other words, just as labor pains remind a pregnant mother that there is a baby inside her that the body wants to bring into the world, so do these various earthly disasters remind believers that Christ will return, ending human history as we now know it. But how unreliable those labor pains can be, sometimes coming months ahead of the actual due date, sometimes weeks in advance. They remind us that we are getting closer to the climactic day, but we knew that already just because of the passing of time. Vanga also said that in 2024, Earth could encounter a different path around the sun. This is a highly interesting prediction and one that could have far-reaching effects on our lives. Every year, Earth passes the sun around 584 million miles. This journey is an epic elliptical one, as it is shaped like an oval instead of a circle. The exact shape of the oval is determined by the forces of other planets. Although Earth's orbit can change due to these forces, these changes only happen in a cyclical manner. Even subtle changes can have severe implications on the Earth. It could cause extreme radiation levels and soaring temperatures to affect our planet. It's also possible that the orbital shift suggested by Baba Vanga could be caused by an impact from an asteroid. But we need to take a note at this. Although there are many prophets who make predictions about the end of the world, in reality, God has said that no one knows the day or hour of his coming, but God. But about that day or hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Be on guard, be alert. You do not know when that time will come. When the Lord tells us, no one knows the day or the hour, he is referring to the truth that nobody knows when his second coming will be. Many individuals throughout time have tried to predict the second coming of Christ, yet there is no way a person can predict the Lord's second coming. The second coming of Christ is often confused with the rapture of the church. Many scholars blend these two events of eschatology to be the same event. However, the second coming of Christ and the rapture are two distinct events. The rapture will occur before the second coming of Christ, because the second coming will not occur until the end of the 7-year tribulation. None of us can predict the time when all of these future events will take place. The rapture is the catalyst for the rest of the events of eschatology, as believers will be taken up to be with the Lord prior to the 7-year tribulation. After the 7-year tribulation will be the second coming of Christ. During this time, Christ will return to fight in the Battle of Armageddon. You can read Revelation chapter 19 verses 11 to 16 for more. In the Battle of Armageddon, the Lord will defeat the Antichrist and the false prophet. Jesus will rule victorious over evil and destroy all those who went against him. The second coming will be drastically different from his first coming. The Lord has already given us the opportunity to place faith in him through the knowledge of the gospel. Yet at his second coming, he will bring the full promises of our salvation to fruition. After the end of the 7-year tribulation, Jesus will reign as king for 1,000 years, and then he will establish the new heaven and new earth. When God establishes the new heaven and new earth, the world will be exactly as God first intended it to be in the Garden of Eden. No longer will there be any death, pain, or sadness. Instead, there will only be happiness, joy, and life. The second coming of Christ is something we should all look forward to, as it will be a major event in eschatology. If you are presently already a believer, you can be confident in the knowledge that you will return with Christ at his second coming and help fight in the Battle of Armageddon. All believers who have died or been taken up in the rapture prior to the 7-year tribulation will return to Christ to fight in the Battle of Armageddon. While this may be frightening, we can trust in the Lord and in his future plans. Cure for cancer. The mystic predicted that new cures for diseases like Alzheimer's and cancer will be invented this year. It sounds unbelievable, but, nothing is impossible with the rapid development of world medicine. President Vladimir Putin recently said that Russian scientists are close to creating a vaccine for cancer that could soon be available to patients. He said, "We have reached a significant milestone in the development of cancer vaccines and next-generation immunomodulatory drugs. I hope that soon they will be effectively used as methods of individual therapy," he added, speaking at a Moscow forum on future technologies. However, he did not specify the types of cancer the proposed vaccines would target. Furthermore, recent developments have confirmed progress in the development of a lung cancer vaccine. The United Kingdom has allocated funding for 2 years of laboratory research and initial manufacturing of 3,000 doses for a DNA-based lung cancer vaccine, as stated in a press release from the University of Oxford, located in Oxford, England. But it cannot be denied that the world will have a positive outlook for cancer patients, and we can fully expect that miracle will happen in 2024. The rise of technology. In Baba Vanga's predictions, thanks to advances in organ transplant technology, humans will live to be more than 100 years old. She also anticipated that the darkness would be gone and another region of Earth would be illuminated by artificial sunlight. She foresees a major breakthrough in the realm of quantum computing, bringing an unprecedented technological revolution. This advancement is set to shake up various sectors, from finance and healthcare to cybersecurity, all thanks to the mind-blowing capabilities of quantum computers. The rapid advance of technology is transforming civilization in ways no one expected, in ways that are exciting and scary, ways we are only beginning to understand. Tech seems on the verge of recreating human beings into something new, something altered, bionic, computerized, robotic, superhuman. The internet's spiderweb has descended and covered nearly all elements of civilization. The smartphone, smartwatch, and smart home are growing into the smart world. So, are these things linked to the Bible prophecy? Some readers may recall the words given to the prophet Daniel more than 25 centuries ago in Daniel 12:4, that at the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Not until recent history have we seen a time when millions of people rapidly fly all over the globe, reaching destinations in hours that in previous centuries took months or even years. Until year 1900, human knowledge approximately doubled every century. However, by 1950, human knowledge doubled every 25 years. In 2000, human knowledge would double every year. Now, our knowledge is almost doubling every day. This should certainly make us pay attention to how quickly our world is changing, and with it, how previously puzzling Bible prophecies might now be fulfilled. In Matthew 24, Jesus Christ's disciples asked him what would signal his return. What started with the movable type printing press in 1439 eventually matured into the internet and smartphones, instant fingertip access to anything at any time. Christ's words in Matthew 24:14 have never made more sense than in this era. The internet in everyone's pockets means the potential now exists, as never before, for the true gospel of God's coming kingdom to be preached, truly, to all nations. In Revelation 13:15-17, verses show the rise in the last days of a world-ruling superpower centered in Europe called the Beast. God's word shows it will exercise unprecedented control over people, like the vast Roman Empire but bigger and modern, with religion playing a major role. Revelation shows how the religious leader of this end-time superpower will honor the civil aspect of this power and will punish and kill those who refuse to worship the beast. Note how those who refuse to be part of this satanic system are cut off from buying or selling. Their economic tap is turned off. Then think of our soon-coming cashless society. Every transaction is rapidly becoming electronic. It will not be technically difficult for people to no longer be able to buy and sell if they do not fall in line with the beast power. Technology may not be the actual mark of the beast, but it will almost certainly be used to enforce the mark. The stage is set for God to reach vast numbers with the true gospel, and the context of this prophecy is just before Christ's second coming. Baba Vanga predicted that communication technologies would continue to evolve, making it easier for people to connect across vast distances. Innovations in this field could lead to faster, more reliable internet connections and new ways of interacting with each other, further shrinking the global village. Baba Vanga's technological advancements, predicted for 2024, are expected to impact daily life profoundly. From healthcare to communication, these innovations could improve efficiency, convenience, and overall quality of life. As we embrace these changes, it is important to consider the benefits and potential challenges they may bring. Also with that, humans face to dangerous cyber attacks. She warns of a surge in cyber attack for 2025. These aren't your run-of-the-mill hackers. They're leveling up in sophistication, targeting critical infrastructure like power grids and water treatment facilities. These attacks could lead to widespread disruptions and chaos, posing a serious national security threat. Human birth at laboratories. Baba Vanga is believed to have predicted that for 2025, human babies will be born in laboratories, where the color of their skin to their character can be decided. This means that the entire process of birth will be controlled. The rise of technology, according to Vanga, advancements in reproductive technology, have already made it possible for some couples to conceive through in vitro fertilization, IVF, and other assisted reproductive technologies. However, the idea of human reproduction becoming entirely artificial raises a number of ethical questions, such as whether it is right to create human life in a laboratory setting. Additionally, it is unclear what impact this could have on the population as a whole, and what unintended consequences could arise from such technology. Human reproduction becoming entirely artificial could have significant consequences for our population and society. It could potentially lead to a decrease in genetic diversity and a greater reliance on technology to create new life. It could also raise significant ethical questions about the creation and ownership of life, as well as the role of government and society in regulating and controlling such technology. The development of artificial reproductive technologies is an active area of research, and significant advancements have already been made in this field. For example, scientists have successfully grown mouse embryos in an artificial womb, and human embryos have been successfully grown in vitro. While there are still many technical and ethical challenges to be addressed, these advancements suggest that the development of entirely artificial human reproduction is not outside the realm of possibility. The development of artificial body parts and prosthetics is an active area of research, and significant advancements have already been made in this field. For example, scientists have developed brain-controlled prosthetic arms, and some artificial organs, such as hearts, are already in use. While the development of entirely artificial bodies and organs is still a long way off, these advancements suggest that the potential for such technology is not out of the question. Dangerous bird virus. Birds have been affected by numerous viruses in the past, such as avian flu, which can be transmitted to humans. It is possible that a new virus could emerge that would have a significant impact on bird populations. The potential consequences of such an event would depend on the severity of the virus and the ability of humans to contain its spread. A dangerous virus affecting bird populations could potentially have significant ecological and economic consequences. It could disrupt food supplies, as well as impact other animal populations that rely on birds for food or pollination. Additionally, it could potentially lead to the spread of the virus to humans, which could have significant health consequences. Bird populations have been affected by numerous viruses in the past, and the potential for future outbreaks is always a concern. However, the identification and monitoring of potential bird viruses is an active area of research, and scientists are working to develop new vaccines and other preventative measures to protect both birds and humans. Geopolitical changes. Baba Vanga's predictions for 2025 also encompass significant geopolitical changes. She foresaw shifts in global power dynamics that could reshape international relations and influence the balance of power. Emerging powers could rise to prominence once dominant nations see their influence wane. These changes will impact global trade, economic policies, and diplomatic relations. Countries must navigate these shifts carefully to maintain stability and foster cooperation. Baba Vanga's prophecies suggest that some nations may form new alliances, while others could experience internal strife and political upheaval. The predicted geopolitical changes may also affect global security. Shifting power dynamics could increase the risk of conflicts and tensions. Nations must prioritize diplomacy and conflict resolution to avoid escalation and promote peace. In addition to power shifts, Baba Vanga predicted changes in global leadership. New leaders may emerge with different visions and policies, influencing the direction of their countries and the world. These leaders could be crucial in addressing global challenges, such as climate change, economic inequality, and social justice. Baba Vanga's predictions for geopolitical changes in 2024 highlight the need for adaptability and resilience. As the world evolves, nations must work together to navigate these changes and create a more stable and prosperous future. Cyborg humans. Advancements in prosthetics and other artificial body parts have already made it possible for some people to replace lost or damaged body parts with artificial ones. However, the idea of humans becoming entirely cyborg raises a number of ethical and philosophical questions, such as what it means to be human, and whether it is right to modify the human body in such a way. Additionally, it is unclear what impact this could have on society as a whole, and whether it could lead to a greater divide between those who can afford such enhancements and those who cannot. Many of her predictions are open to interpretation, and it is unclear what impact they could have on our lives. However, they do raise some interesting questions about the future of humanity and the role of technology in shaping our world. Humans becoming cyborgs could potentially lead to significant changes in our society and culture. It could create new social and economic divides between those who can afford such enhancements and those who cannot. It could also raise significant ethical questions about what it means to be human, as well as the potential impact on our health and well-being. Additionally, it could lead to significant changes in our job market and economy, potentially replacing some jobs with machines or technology. Alien contact. While the idea of an alien attack might seem like something out of science fiction, it is not without precedent. In the past, various cultures have reported encounters with extraterrestrial beings, and some have even claimed to have been abducted by aliens. However, it is important to note that there is currently no scientific evidence to support the existence of aliens or the possibility of an alien attack. While the likelihood of an alien attack is unknown, the idea of contact with extraterrestrial life raises a number of questions about our place in the universe and the possibility of other intelligent life. It could also have significant effects on our society and culture, potentially leading to new scientific discoveries and even religious or philosophical changes. While there is currently no scientific evidence to support the existence of extraterrestrial life, the search for such life is an active area of research. Scientists have discovered thousands of exoplanets, or planets that orbit stars other than our Sun, and some of these planets are located in the habitable zone, which could potentially support life. Additionally, several organizations, such as the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, are actively searching for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence. Europe's population will reach 0. Baba Vanga predicted that by 2025, Europe's population will become nearly 0. This could be due to terrorism, social upheaval, and climate changes. With the current global distress caused by the microvirus, it's not impossible for Europe's population to vanish. However, how much of this is true remains to be seen. Humans will reach Venus and Mercury. According to Baba Vanga, by 2028, humans will reach Venus in search of new energy sources, and the problem of food shortages will be resolved. There will also be a human space mission to Mercury. With more than half of the Earth suffering due to climate change and terrorism, humans have already begun searching for habitats on other planets. It's possible that Baba Vanga's prophecy could come true. Personally, seeing the state of Earth makes me want to move to another planet. Anyway, let's move on to the next prediction.